Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to day 7 of our Microsoft Fabric program. We will begin shortly at 7 p.m. We hope you have been enjoying the sessions and are excited for another day of learning. Until then, invite your friends and classmates to join using the same Zoom link shared with you. And before we begin, here are a few important announcements. Please join using only the registered email ID used during registration, and attendance will be recorded based on the same. Continue using the same Zoom link for all the sessions. Use the chat box only for session-related questions. Don't spam the chat. Stay until the end of the sessions for important announcement. Thank you. Once again, good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to day 7 of our Microsoft Fabric program. We will begin shortly at 7 p.m. We hope you have been enjoying the sessions and are excited for another day of learning. Until then, invite your friends and fellow mates to join using the same Zoom link shared with you. And before we begin, here are a few important announcements. Please join using only the registered email ID used during registration, as attendance will be record based on the same. Continue using the same Zoom link for all the sessions. Use the chat box only for session-related questions. Don't spam the chat. Stay until the end of the sessions for important announcements. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to day 7 of our Microsoft Fabric program. Thank you for your patience. Our respected trainer will be joining us shortly. We appreciate your understanding and request you to stay connected. Meanwhile, invite your friends and fellow mates to join using the same Zoom link shared with you. We will begin shortly at 7:10. Once again, good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to day 7 of our Microsoft Fabric program. Um, Thank you for your patience. Our trainer will be joining us shortly. Appreciate your understanding and request you to stay connected. So, meanwhile, we invite your friends and fellow mates to join using the same Zoom link shared with you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to day 7 of our Microsoft Fabric program. Thank you for your patience. Our trainer will be joining us shortly. We appreciate your understanding and request you to stay connected. Meanwhile, uh, invite your classmates and friends to join using same Zoom link chat with you. Before we begin, here are a few important announcements. Please join using only the registered email ID used during registration, as attendance will be recorded based on the same. Continue using the same Zoom link for all the sessions. Use the chat box only for session related questions. Don't spam the chat. Stay until the end of the session for important announcement. Thank you. A very good evening, everyone. Welcome to day 7 of our Microsoft Fabric program. Thank you for your patience. Our trainer will join us shortly. So wait for another few minutes. We appreciate your understanding and request you to stay connected. Meanwhile, invite your friends and fellow mates to join the meet using same Zoom link shared with you. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining us. It's my pleasure to welcome our expert trainer, Mr. Kannaya Kumar, who will continue today's Microsoft Fabric session. Sir, the participants are ready and looking forward to today's learning. Over to you, sir. Have a wonderful session.
Hello. Okay. Thanks, Tony. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's session. Okay. So we are going to continue with from yesterday's session, whatever we have covered in Power Query. So from there, we are going to continue. I'm going to share my screen. So it's a very important for everyone who doesn't have technical background and they just want to use low code or no code. For them, actually, Power Query works, absolutely it works for even any size of projector. So how it's going to work and few critical activities we are going to perform today. So okay, so one of the like keyword you may hear during this course, that is a data flow Gen 2. I told yesterday also that data flow Gen 2 is nothing but Power Query. Almost 95% features are same. Some 5% features may differ from different applications. Suppose if you are using Excel, in Excel also you have Power Query. Same time you have basically in Fabric also, as well as in Fabric you have data flow Gen 2. Then if you go after, you know, uh, Power BI Cloud, that is Power BI Services, there also you have data flow. So the data flow is basically built for someone who want to use this cloud data platform without having, technical background, or you can say like coding background. So for them, as well as even the people who have technical background, coding background, those people can also use it. There is definitely I mean, when you get into different organization, so every organization have different kind of setup. So when it comes to core technical companies like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, or let's say any other company, a product company, or you know any sort of company, because cloud data platform is something which is applicable for every industry. It's not like only for IT, like Microsoft or Google. This is a platform which is going to be used by every industry. Even though if you are into manufacturing, so manufacturing is again a huge, right? Huge industry. So, one second. So any industry, you assume like banking, manufacturing, like construction, any industry. So every industry is using, cloud. Every industry is using cloud for their data processing, right? So I'm not talking about their core business. Like when you say manufacturing, their core business could be, you know, manufacturing car. When it comes to civil, It's like constructing bridge or buildings or road, whatever it may be, right? But that is a core business. But when it comes to data, so data is basically every domain you have data. So every industry is consuming basically data cloud, basically data platform cloud. So that is how it's working in US. As of now, since I have association with many US companies, where I have found like some people who is working in hospitality. So when it comes to hospitality, you can understand the kind of transaction, data transaction happens. When it comes to manufacturing, what kind of data actually you are going to get. So domain knowledge is again very critical when you want to get into you know like with experience. See, for beginner, just for understanding purpose, I'm telling you that you may have different kind of data. A retail chain. Assume you are working with Amazon. So Amazon is basically a retail company, uh, e-commerce company, which has, huge, in terms of e-commerce activity as well as a retail activity. The retail activity depends upon the country to country. It may differ. So not like India, you have everything online, but I think US, you have even offline. So that's what I mean. Even various other companies are there, like Target, you have many other companies. So assume like you are working on a data cloud data platform, and then same time you have different kind of data. So as a data platform developer, like data engineer. Okay. So a proper role, you can say data engineer. So data engineer role is to basically they are going to deal with any kind of data, right? Whether it's related to manufacturing, retail, supply chain, or construction, any industry, right? So core, fundamentals of data is really very important because you need to deal all together same way. You metrics will change, like construction companies may have different kind of metrics, calculations, KPIs. When it comes to IT companies will have different sort of KPI, different metrics and calculations, right? Similarly, get into manufacturing or any other industry. So every industry have their own KPIs and metrics. That is the reason experience matters. So when you work for a year, 5 years, 10 years, then uh, basically on cloud data platform, then you will realize that that your actual experience is going to be very with various projects, right? So a certain project may be related to supply chain, certain project may be related to retail, certain project may be related to finance, banking, various sectors, domains, right? So when it comes to low code, now you can understand the industries are different. Their core business is different. Banking people, they are not like computer, like people are, all the people are not like they have computer science background. They are not coder, right? I mean, you go to construction, um, uh, their core business is different. You go to manufacturing, different, their core business is different. But data is a very consistent for any domain, any sector. Data is getting generated. Even in manufacturing, huge data is getting generated. So assume like how today we have, like vehicles like, Tesla car, right? EV cars are there, auto driving cars. So Tesla is definitely one of the classical example as of today. But when it comes to current scenario, so most of us like classical approach in terms of automated like auto driving car and all about Tesla, but Tesla is just one company and probably few other company you have in US, but same time China has more than 160 companies like Tesla, more than 160 companies like Tesla. US may have few, but China has too many. So you can understand that is the one factor uh, how data is powerful when it comes to like automotive industry, where a lot of innovation is happening as of today. But as a developing country, India, we don't have that much strength. Like we don't have that kind of scenario that auto driving and all in our country, right? As of now, it's not there. But in different part of world, when it comes to this technology, then it's either US or China. And definitely European countries are there who use it. They are user. But when it comes to builder or manufacturer, definitely only China and US. US has very low bandwidth when it comes to companies like Tesla, probably a few other companies. But China has huge production. One company like BYD or you say like Huawei, Xiaomi, even Xiaomi EV cars are there. So many, that's why I said like 160, more than 160 companies are there who manufacture cars like Tesla in China. So you can understand every industry have huge data processing and based on that data, all the innovations are happening as of today. So this domain, this platform, you should not take it lightly that, okay, oh, this is just processing data. No, it has a huge potential. This is the domain. Based on that, today you have this AI like Chat GPT or Cloud A or any AI models. So this is a domain. Based on this domain, actually, all these AI LLMs you have today, right? So never underestimate this part. So for instance, we are exploring basic things as a beginner level. So let's go ahead with our previous activity. I mean, we need to resume previous activity. So yesterday, I was just going after one of the tool which we need in this course, that is Power BI. So today I'm going after some sort of activities. So first, I will tell you the objective, what we are going to perform. So in a company, just a simple scenario, I'll tell you that you have a folder. So you work in any industry, any company, you have a folder in computer system. In that folder, you have multiple files. So if you have to combine all the files manually, it may take some time. But when you use Power Query, it's going to do it very quickly. And again, it's a automated process. That means one time you perform, next time you don't need to worry about that. So that is how works Power Query in Power BI desktop. And same time, if you are using data flow in Fabric or Power BI Cloud, it is going to work a similar way, right? So objective is that combine multiple files from a folder, and here you have get data option. See, multiple options are there, and we have more option. So you can see here. So yesterday I have just given an introduction of Power BI. Today we are going to perform some activities in real time. Uh, so here you can see Excel workbook we have done yesterday. We have imported Excel file. And today also we are going to, perform certain activities based on this file. But that is just a source, right? It may be Excel, it may be CSV, text, XML, JSON, or you have, different applications or databases, right? For database also, I told you that how you're going to connect, right? So again, we are going to come back to this database. So today I'll not touch this part, but our further activities require this SQL Server. So that is critical because somebody who have some background in Fabric and some, or you can say like your technical background, you have some technical background, so it's going to help you using SQL Server as a source. Rest all definitely required. It's not like even like everyone required these data sources, not all, because you have more than probably hundreds, I think around 150 data sources you have here. So not everyone is using all these data sources, right? You might be encounter in your whole career you might be using just 10, 15 maximum, or 20 or 25. That is a limit basically every individual may encounter in their whole career. So in this course, we are going to just entertain few data sources like Excel, CSV, JSON, folder, or SQL Server. Even you have option to use Python, and as a data source, you can use Python as well as R programming. Both option you have. I'll show you. Yes, you can see Python script you can use as a connection data source. Even R script, Spark, Hadoop file, right? All these things actually you can use it. That means when you are using ODBC or OLEDB and all these connectors in Power BI, that means any data source, whichever it doesn't have, connectors here, even that data you can connect it easily using ODBC, OLEDB, or Python script, or R or Spark. You will be able to process any data source. So further, connections related things you can find in Microsoft documentation also. So if you search uh, connectors like data source connectors in Power BI, Microsoft documentation. If you search in Google, you'll find the entire document in PDF. So for each of the connector, you'll find every detail. Just you need to do the Google search. Let me show you quickly. So you search, let's say, data source connector in Power BI, Microsoft documentation. Here you will find with. Here you have PDF and you'll find all those connectors, everything about connection with other data sources. Data source in Power BI. If you just look after, these are very simple. See, one lake, apps, workspace, work. I mean, everything you'll find here. This is very important documentation in terms of handling data source and various other things. So related to Power BI, whatever I'm telling you, this is just like a head start for you to exploring things, because we are not going after Power BI course, right? Some overview, some activities. basic activities, right? Power data sources. So here you have the details about data sources. Fine. So each of the, like, whichever is relevant for you, you can search here about the connectors and all. You have search option. So all the everything will find it. But something may be challenging, you are not finding information, go to blog, Microsoft Power BI blog, where it's not only you, many people are struggling for certain cases, certain scenarios. You ask your question, somebody is going to respond you within 24 hours. And yes, many experts are there. So they're going to respond on that. So this is just a part like which can help you for learning further, Power BI. What I'm going to teach you today, apart from that, you can go up to those documentation. Those documentations are not like programming documentation, like Java, Python, C++. Those documentations are literally a step-by-step tutorial for performing certain tasks. But at the same time, if you see the documentation of Python or Java, I mean, it's too weird that, it may take probably years to understand concept by concept entire Python programming or Java program. Years it may take, not just 1 year. Depends like how passionate you are in terms of programming. So that is how documentation. So generally technical guys who is doing BTech, MTech, I mean they have impression that oh documentations are like very weird, you know, it's too difficult to follow that. But when it comes to Power BI or Microsoft application, including Fabric. So for Fabric also you have documentation. Let me show quickly that one also here itself. You can just search Microsoft Fabric documentation. You have PDF and every activity you will find with a screenshot. So wherever you want to start, you can go after there and get started in Fabric. You see all these are there. It's related to Microsoft Fabric, right? So our time, whatever time we have, and we are going to cover up certain things, not everything, right? So go after this and explore the documentation about get data, store data, prepare and transform data, analyze everything you have, right? So depends upon your background. But when it comes to this documentation, definitely you should use it, whatever background you have, because these documentations are very simple. Like it's a class note. Just read this, and it's very simple and easy to understand. Uh, Not like as I said, like programming documentation, right? Just you need to have a little bit passion to read it and understand. So maybe as a beginner, maybe bit like challenging, but slowly, uh, this is basically one of the best, you know, like training or tutorial or whatever you say for learning purpose. This is a best platform you'll find on entire internet. Like you explore books, you explore, tutorials, various other websites and all. End of the day, this is the best one for everything. Okay. You can see here you have a screenshot. So various activities you'll find very simple steps as well as a screenshot also. So just wanted to show you, I think I've not covered that part. So let's move on. So folder activity we are going to perform first in terms of combining multiple files. So now you can see it is asking about folder path. We can just copy paste or we can browse. So I've selected here metals folder. Okay. And you need to just click on OK. So here you can see the metadata of that folder. What are the files we have? So let me tell you, each of this file contains Olympic data. So each of the year, like 2000, 2004, 2008, and 12, whatever Olympic data you have, like, medals. So which country has, how many gold, silver, bronze total medals? That is what data we'll get here. And we are going to explore in Power Query using this option, right? So this is the metadata about that folder. You can see everything you have related to that folder. So here you have some options like combine and transform data, combine and load. So difference is basically all these four files is going to combine together and open into Power Query. When you say transform data, that means it's going to open into Power Query. When we say combine and load, that means after combining these files, it's going to load into Power BI desktop. So that is the option you have. You can choose any option and just explore whatever you want. I- So it's almost same, just one step away if you are using this to move this part. And if you want to go back again here, just one step back, actually we have to go from here. That's basically you have option here. When it comes to load, you are going to load as it is like a table in Power BI desktop as it is. Similarly, if you use transform data, it is going to load as it is in Power Query. So I'm going to show you two options. First, quickly, I'll combine and transform data and load into Power BI desktop and then manually transform data. So here is to combine and transform. So here you can see it's a combining automatically. We are not doing anything here. And a sample file. So this works like just some patterns I'll tell you. So first file, it has created out of those four files, it has created a first file. And just click on this. You can see the pattern here. First file is 2000 medals. So what it means, basically it is going to perform everything on first file, 2000 medals. And same thing, it is going to replicate whatever other files you have, like 2000 medals, 2004 medals, 2008 medals, or 2012. Another scenario that here, since all the files you have seat 1, only seat 1, but when you have multiple seat, so that is one of the critical scenario you should try that if you have multiple seat, then so my recommend now you see the data. This is the data you have for 2000 medals, uh, 2000 Olympics. You can see gold, silver, bronze total for US, Russia, China, Australia, Germany, all countries, right? So this is how it looks like. But you may have multiple seat. So if you have more than one seat, you will get option to select that the seat 1, seat 2, seat 3, or n number of seats. Or if it is table, then table 1, table 2, whatever table name you have, right? So that is depends upon you, like how actually you want to perform this combining activity when you have multiple files in single folder, right? So I'm going to just perform simple task. Further, you need to basically deep dive how it's not that complex. It's easy. Just try different scenario. You can come back in case if you have questions, doubts in terms of performing multiple sheets or tables. Uh, if if you're not able to solve it, certain problem or issues, come back. We'll see. Still we have 7, 8 classes. So I'll try to cover up any doubt or questions you have, whatever I'm going up to. So, okay. So it's loaded and, done. So here you can see all the 4 files have been combined. Say, in that folder, you had 4 files, 2000 medals, 2004, 2008, 2012. All the files have been actually combined together. This is a single table now, medals. In medals, you have for like all these years, right? So see, we have not done anything, just we have done the navigation, like selecting folder, then selecting parameter as a seed one, and then everything done. So this is a magical, like, I mean, we are not doing manually anything here. Hardly just one or two click, that's all. And all the files are getting combined together. And see, behind that, these many steps are performed automatically. We have not done this part. Only source we have selected. When you select your source, you can see here, this is the path we have selected, right? Then next what happened, filter hidden files. That is automatic. We have not done that. Invoke custom function. Even this part we have not done. Rename columns. We didn't do that. All these steps we have not done. Final result we are getting automatically. So this is a power of Power Query, that lot of things you can automate without writing code. And that is the reason, even though if you don't have coding background, still you can be, as a beginner in terms of Fabric analytics engineer or data engineer. So that is possible. But I will rule out in terms of competing in India, because most of the technical guys who definitely they have some a strong hold in terms of SQL or Python or PySpark. So somebody who doesn't have coding background, those people is going to definitely I mean they cannot compete with somebody who has coding background. So why? Because this is a low code or no code platform for Fabric, data platform engineers and all, in terms of either Fabric or Databricks or you say Snowflake. But like our country, like India, has a huge competition when it comes to technical jobs, right? Uh, BTech graduates are too many. Then same time, BSc, MSc, MTech, even commerce, arts, all graduates are actually, looking after some decent opportunity, whether it's IT or even some other domain, right? So when you have to stand out, I'll come back to those points later, little bit later. but it's focused on this part. So this is like how these activities automatically happen. So you don't need to, we have not written these codes. If you want to see the codes behind this activity, so go to home and look into advanced editor. See, these are the codes written automatically. We have just selected the files and the basically sheet one as a parameter. That's all. Rest everything happen automatically. So even though you are non-coder, non-technical, you don't have non-technical, sorry, you don't have technical background. In that case also, you should definitely have logical mindset. Then only you will be able to successful in this domain. Even definitely you will be successful. Doesn't matter you have whatever degree. End of the day, a logical approach is really important for everyone. Now, I think even I assume most of the people here having technical background, but so the people who have technical background, they might be not very smart or good in terms of SQL queries, but somebody who have different background like commerce, arts, management, or some different domain, they might be very smart in terms of writing excellent SQL queries. So company is not going to prefer whether you have BTech, MTech or whatever, but the basically SQL queries, how actually handle the SQL queries, right? So that is how it works everywhere. It's not only in India. India have some different structure in terms of opportunities. US and Europe have some, I mean, that, those are free market when it comes to jobs, like you can get job by any qualification in US and Europe. Uh, but India, you need to have a certain classification, qualification to just think about a particular job, like a software engineer. So here, arts graduates cannot apply for that job. Commerce graduates, most likely, nobody is going to consider. So only science graduates can apply for software engineer. But in Europe and US, even arts graduate can be one of the top engineer in terms of AI, in terms of IT, in terms of any domain. So that is what I mean to say. India is a bit conservative, not bit too much conservative in terms of accepting talent. Because I mean, definitely, this is a truth, right? You have to get into TCS or Cognizant or some companies where minimum marks you have to qualify. You need to have minimum marks. But I mean, hope I mean, just wanted to give you like a reality check about Indian industry and then US and Europe, like how it is working, right? So various other factors are there. Let's leave it at part. 1 second. Okay, so past few days I'm trying to create account in Azure, but the credit card and password is mandatory. So see, this is a trial account you are going to create, a free account. So you should use it, your credit card or debit card. It is going to transact only 2 rupees. But you should definitely know that you know after trial period, it's going to charge. So assume like Fabric is for 60 days free trial. For me, I'm using it last 3 years of Fabric, but it never happened like some like unnecessary billings and all. In terms of training, when it comes to my project, definitely a company pays all those billings, right? But personally, when I take training, so each of the license or each of the activation what I generally use for Fabric account. It was never access. Uh, it is just you need to think about, okay, it's a 60 days fabric or Azure credit limit, whatever you have. So just to have a view on that. As long as you are using Azure account every day before accessing, after accessing, just look into the your credit. How much free credit you have utilized, how much is a remained. So that is the reason. I mean, you should look after that part critically, and then understand also, because end of the day, after learning this Azure cloud or fabric, you are going to work for a business. So if it is your personal, then you may think like, okay, oh, it matters for me that, like few thousand unnecessarily deducted from my credit card or debit card. But same thing, same applies for the companies and businesses, right? So it should be enough sensitive uh, and responsible to understand this factor and use it responsibly. So that is the reason I'm just telling you, create your Azure account using your debit card, credit card, uh, and just, or if you don't want to take much risk, just go after a free bank account. Take your like SBI account. It's a free, right? Or many government banks have, like free account. You don't need to have any balance. It's a just zero balance, right? Including you have like all the banks provides the free accounts like zero balance account, right? All the banks in India as of today. You create any other account. It's a matter of just few minutes. Huh? It's online. A lot of banks, even government banks, everything you can perform online. So just create separate account. You don't just put 2 rupees for verification purpose and use this Azure, but be responsible to understand the your credit every day, that okay, this is my credit, and end of the day, like when you use it, how much it has accessed, how much is balanced. Just understand that those factors, it's really important lesson for cloud computing, okay, for everyone. Because as I said, like personally, if you think so much about your like definitely it's very important for everyone, that not individual but business also, right? So you don't need to fear, but be smart to create account and use it responsibly. That's all I'll tell you. Read it more about this and create the account. What else you want, like recommendation or suggestions from my side, you can let me know. No issue. So you go ahead, Monica. It's you should do it. There is nothing to worry much, but whatever I said, just understand those things. That's all. Yes, it's that's what we did yesterday, ma'am. So I hope you were there yesterday. So yesterday we did the same thing. We practiced. That is the reason I thought like we should do some at least few queries in SQL. I did it yesterday. For the can you anyone say dashboard link? As of now, there is no dashboard, so leave it. I'm going to share. Probably after few sessions, you will have that option to use that link. Transform data means change the data. Yes, data transformation means from one form to a raw form to organized form. So in raw form, how actually you are getting data from website or Excel sheet or SQL database, and then you are organizing. So that is what it means, ETL, extract, transform. So one of the part like organizing data means definitely you have to extract, right? Then transform. So one form to transforming into one form to actually changing into another form. Assume like you have some random data which is like a mix and you need to clean it. So from that data, you are creating one part as a string, all text, another part is some number, right? So that is a data transformation. You're cleaning data, organizing such a way that you can use it for your data modeling purpose, right? So that is a ETL. Good. Next, yes, you will get the dashboard not today and next few session. I think 14th or 15th session you will get this dashboard link, which is going to be hosted on GitHub. You can use it for. And one more thing I will suggest. I'm not on mute. Tony, no, I'm not on mute. You can say here. I'm not
Your
on mute.
voice is clear, sir.
Yes, so I'm not on mute. Sorry, I think maybe some issue with your connections. Yes, without coding, this is what we are doing. We have not done coding here. We are not doing coding here anything. So just for your understanding purpose, I'm just using. See, young people are more smart. I know. So that is the reason I spend more time in terms of just showing you some path uh, instead of just performing certain tasks. End of the day, probably you may not catch up. But if I give you some hint, a process or a right path, how you're going to explore further, most of you, my belief is like most of you is going to follow those paths. So it's not like what I'm telling you. You can find multiple different paths to cover up all those things quickly. So that is the reason I discuss a lot of things to give you some, better idea that how you can do this different way, right? For the okay, my progress is not showing dashboard. Tony, I think she's talking about the LMS dashboard.
Yes, sir, I think so. So
Yes.
the attendance will be shared at 8:30 p.m. The past attendance will be closed and it's automation. If you don't, I mean, put your attendance, don't worry, you will continue fill the form from today onwards.
Yeah. Sorry, please follow Tony for your
Yes, sir.
question about this part. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Then, and it is safe. Yes, yes, there is nothing to worry to give information. This is a global company and internationally, like like it's a legally authorized in India. So if Azure cannot do something wrong in India, if they do, they are legally, you can basically how you claim your legal like. I mean to say something wrong happens with us, then you just a complain, right? And then further legal process continue. So Azure is or any of these company, global companies, cannot do something wrong. They are legally binded. So they cannot do something wrong. Even we are doing. I mean, when not be, I mean to say in whole world, people are using, for example, Microsoft Office or various other softwares from Microsoft, any other company that is a pirated, right? So without buying, you are using those softwares. You're not paying anything, but actually you have to pay. That is, pirated things are not legal, right? So beer, I mean, definitely, it's not only Indians, but whole world, a lot of people are just bypassing that route, that not paying, but going for pirated version of softwares, right? So don't worry, it's very much safe to use your credentials. You are not transacting only it's a verification purpose. You are providing your bank account details. When it comes to transaction, it's going to be legally obliged, they cannot do something more. it's same like how you do the transaction with your bank. Similarly, these companies are very much, say, for one individual like you and me, or assume like 100 people, 1,000 people. I mean, you can understand their global reputation, Microsoft or Google. They cannot do something which is absolutely like a spam, like some sort of a scam or misuse. Don't worry, you can definitely use it or your credentials, verification purpose, your account details and debit card details. That is just a verification. Further, once you exceed your limit in terms of free or trial account, and then you use it for certain process and all, then only it's going to charge you. But one more thing I'll tell you on camera, on record, I'm telling you, see, if you don't have balance in your account, they are not going to do anything. That is the reason. If you have more doubt, you just create a separate account. Just create separate account. Keep just 2 rupees. Do the verification and forget it. You have account. Just use it for 60 days. Whatever you have free credit, and leave it. Even though something wrong happens from your side, I can tell you, nothing will happen. But still, there is a chances they may come back. But that is very rare. Don't worry. That never happens. If you don't have money in your account, they will not charge you anything. That is for sure. Even though you do the mistake, because you have gone through your free trial account. So no need to worry. Just go ahead. You don't need to think too much about this part. But I'll tell you some cases like you know, people have very old mindset. They are not much logical in terms of understanding things. So suppose assume that 60 days free trial you have completed, and then you have consumed some storage, some process of Microsoft Azure cloud. So some billings will happen, right? And you have not stopped your account to debit from auto debit from your account, right? You have not stopped. So in that case, it will happen. Auto debit will happen. So it's not like this is general practice for, I mean, Microsoft is not hiding something from you. It's your mistake that you are not understanding that, okay, 60 days is free, 61 days towards, you are doing certain services. Same like probably you might be using Amazon Prime or Netflix or some other, platforms. So how it works? Similar way it works. Just you need to have basic understanding that okay, 60 days trial is there. Just use for only 60 days. Don't go beyond. You disable your auto debit, and all those things. Even account also you disable, or you use it, you will get some retention notice since your data, some project, some process is there in your Azure account, Azure Cloud or Fabric. So you will get a retention notice. It may be 30 days, 60 days. Okay, you have these are the data, this process and all those things. If you want to continue, please continue by paying this much amount or by subscribing. I mean, they may ask you like to subscribe this feature services. You need to pay monthly this much, or as you use, pay as you go. So that is the model they have. As much as you consume, that much you have to pay. So if you're okay for that, then you will be able to retain, you know get back all your data processes in terms of your project work. So these are something very basic understanding, logical understanding that everyone can understand. You need to just think about those factors, more clarity, read about it more as much as you want to go after. So if you search in Google, go to Microsoft blog. If you don't find a relevant question, you ask the questions to them that okay, this is a scenario for me. What I should do? You ask other experts also. They are going to recommend you right path, not other people, but from Microsoft, somebody is going to respond you. that what exactly you should do it. So that is the beauty of using Microsoft official platform like blog and all. Use it. Okay. So sorry, this will not take much time on these questions, but yeah. So Janvi is very consistent in terms of taking classes. Tony, please look into this showing 0% part. I know she's taking, but I don't know about her progress in terms of attendance, whether she is opening that no or not. But,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Yes, yes. Yes, data will load into one lake. Yes. Yeah, so we'll come back to this part in terms of differentiating one lake, warehouse, and SQL. So we'll come back to this part. Don't worry as of now. I'll come back to understanding. And each of the stages like warehouse, one lake, lake house, how you write queries, how you should, I mean, how it works. So we are in just a process to completing tools which we are going to use for this course. So today I'm just thinking to complete Power BI as a tool for this course. Then tomorrow I will cover up. So Python, PySpark, it's going to be just 1 hour. Quickly, I am going to cover up. And then further, we are going to understand that, okay, what is the difference between this warehouse, data lake, one lake, and how actually you're going to query the data using SQL or PySpark. So before doing those activities live, we just wanted to give you some glimpse, some basic idea that how you are going to use SQL, whether you know or don't know. But my limitation is that I can just at least look into something basic, right? So that's what I'm trying to do in terms of these tools. But same time, one more recommendation, especially for all the serious people who want to make career on data platform, please create your GitHub account also. So when I, like last session or second last session, when I'm going to perform this capstone project, you'll have basically those GitHub account is really going to be helpful in terms of performing CI/CD pipelines. That is not part of our course, but still I'll try to give you some, at least something I'll try to cover up. Okay. So that is about CI/CD pipelines for data platform projects and all. Fine. So we are going to continue after 10 minutes uh, with some other activities. We have just done one part. Another part is going to be automating certain tasks using Power Query, which is same in Power BI services or Fabric as a data flow. So next activity is going to be some automation in terms of reporting. So for reporting purpose, how you perform certain automation in Power Query. So we can continue after 10 minutes. So it's 8:10. 8:20, we will continue. Okay. So thanks everyone for joining and we'll continue after 10 minutes. Okay. Tony, so it's fine, right?
Yes, sir. It's okay, sir. We will continue at 8:20.
So yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello everyone. Yes, so so as of now, just keep your account ready. That's fine. I'm going to guide you how you are going to use this GitHub account for data platform related projects and activities. So don't worry. We'll come back on that. So some of the people have the same doubt about 0% on dashboard. Tony, you should just look into that. So, okay, so if you find a difficulty, Tony, in terms of my voice, you can let me know. Otherwise, since so many people are there, maybe this issue is with your system. And if you are using your phone, then you may face this difficulty. Just one second, hold on. Yes, so if you are using phone for this class, it's not recommended. That's not going to work. Okay, just use your system, and then you know. Okay, so this is a issue. Tony, you should just look into that because many people are asking about this. But,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There
yeah.
must be any issue there. We're sorry, though.
Hmm. Fine, my screen is visible for everyone. You just check. Anyways, that's fine. Okay, so let's continue with another activity. Say this part quickly, I'm going to do it manually also, which we have just done, automated way. So again, under Power Query, you have option here, new source. That is a similar, almost, it's the same what you have basically in Power BI desktop. In Power BI desktop, you have get data. Here you can see get data, right? And same get data option you have in Power Query as a new source. Both are same. So I'm going to use here new source. Again, more folder, connect. I'll choose the file. So same thing. And since we are doing this in Power Query data, we are getting only these options. First option is the same what we did earlier. Second option is manual. So we are going after, this is a manual option. As you can see, as it is, it's getting uploaded into Power Query. And so quickly we are going to perform. See, these are the binary object. Okay. So your folder has been converted into binary object and name basically, as you can see, this is Excel file extension date. This is a metadata. Okay. Folder path, attributes, everything you are getting, right? So we need only these two columns. So I have selected using control, you can select columns. So I have selected content and name. Using control, right click, remove other columns. So we have just only two columns. You can see the step has been added. If you want to go back, just remove all the columns are remain. So fine. And further, we need to go up the add column. Here you can see, when it comes to difference between add column and transform. So whichever column you have selected, in same column, if you want to do some data transformation, in that case, you can use this menu transform. But if you want to add a new column based on existing column, so existing column, we have content here. We want to transform into a real data that is, in table form, right? So we need to extract. Binary object is basically it's whatever you have, imported from a folder, it's all getting converted into 0 and 1. So this is a binary object. Now we are going to convert into, table. So for that, based on this column, we want a new column, transform column. So under add column, you have option custom column. So I'll click on custom column. Column name, I'll keep it as it is. No issues, right? And then I'm going to write the formula here. These formulas are basically M language, but very simple formula I'm going to use. So Excel.workbook, you can easily understand. We are going to extract from this binary object into a table. So since it's all originally it's in Excel, like it was Excel, and we want to convert into Excel table only. Sorry, we want to convert this binary object into Excel table. So that's the reason we are using Excel.workbook. And here you can see the content part, which is a content column here, right? So just double click on this and then just close it. That's all. So now if you just click on OK, see, this is a table you're getting. And you can see the metadata of table we have here. Now this is the expand button. You can use it. Just click on this. And we need just a data. So even this part is not required, it's going to just add a prefix. So not required. Okay. Now it's the actual data. You can see here for each of the table, you are getting actual data. So again, we have option here to expand. So expand it, and now we need all these columns. So okay, and you can see here all 329 rows, 8 columns we have, but this content is binary object. We don't need, so I'll remove it. Even this is not required, but let's keep it, not an issue. But when it comes to first row, so first row is the actual header. So instead of column 1, we should have rank. Instead of column 2, we should have country, likewise others also. So what we are going to do here under home, you have option use first row exit headers. Same time you have use headers as a first row. Both option you have. I'll use it first one. Use first row as a headers. First row we have header. So now you see we have proper header, but data types. So rank here you can see ABC123, that is the generic data type. So we need here number, and this is fine. ABC indicates text data type, text. ABC12, that is generic. So for bold, again, it's all numbers. So we need actually whole number, right? Similarly, other columns you can see it's a generic, and font is also generic, total is also generic. So what you can do, this is just a 7 columns, right? But in real time, you may have 100 column, 200 column, depends the kind of data you are using. So you can select all entire table, like select just one, Control A, all the columns have been selected, right? Go to transform, you have option to detect data type. Just click on this. Now you see the data type has been changed. Even code has been generated for each of the column, whatever data type should be there, like bronze, integer 64 dot type for total again. So you can see here, right? So data type we have, now you see this is a clean data. So each of the table you have uh, corresponding, data combined together. So now you can see for each of the Excel file, you have the corresponding data, right? So our data is clean and everything we have combined manually. You can say everything we have combined manually. So this is the one activity which is important. We have done manually. Next, I'll go for, okay. So what is that? Hmm. Fine. So it's all about attendance. Let's move on. Next, another example is also very important. Say this some example, say I'm not going to teach you entire thing about Power Query or Power BI, but some whatever overview, some examples you will see here, that is going to help you to move further with help of documentation. That is very easy and simple. As I have shown you for Fabric and some documentation, you can simply search those documentation. About Power Query, you can search documentation, uh, Power Query documentation, you will find it from Microsoft. For everything like M language or Power BI desktop, for everything you'll find documentation. That is very easy. So for Power Platform, sorry, Cloud Data Platform, it's very important that you should be familiar with one of the this BI tool. Either it's a Power BI or Tableau or ClickView or you have Looker. So any one BI tool you should be familiar. So that is going to help in terms of your semantic model, in terms of low code activity. But low code is about only data flow and Power Query. But when you use like Looker, even Tableau, Looker, I don't know much, but when it comes to Tableau, you have to rely on SQL queries, right? So Power BI is popular because uh, this Power Query data flow, which is a low code or no code. So using that also, you will be able to perform various activities. Same time, people who have technical background, they know SQL queries, they have coding background, and they want to get into those, coding stuff, right? Still, you should know Power Query. Why? Because legacy project, you join a company and they have already some legacy project based on Power Query. So how actually you are going to handle that? Unless you have some knowledge that is in Power Query, it's going to be very difficult for you. So that is what they are going to check in interview that whether you are familiar with data flow or not, or Power Query. So that is the reason. And it's just a head start. So whether you have coding background or not, still you can use Power Query for most of the ETL purpose. You can perform, right? Same time, you have option to explore programming, M language or Python or R programming. So those options are there, right? Fine. So quickly, I'll go up to another activity. So now this time I'm going to use Excel workbook. So here employee data set we have, and this time I'm going to open. So here you can see we have three table and sheet one. Since sheet one also you have all those things. This is a table one, this is a table two. You can see this is a table three. But actually these are Excel tables. So you have table one. Now you see this is a table one, which is available in Excel. Just give me a second. So these are a table you have in Excel. In Excel you have option to create table. So these are table related to Excel. So we need this table, and second table you can see we have just employee ID and employee name. So we need this. Same time, even table three we need. Okay. So here you can see table one, you have employee ID, department, reason, salary, right? So we want to fetch data from table two and table three. So table two, you have, employee ID and employee name, but table one, you have just employee ID. You don't have employee name. So you want to fetch employee name from table two when employee ID is matching. That's how we use the joins in SQL, right? Even in Python or any applications when it comes to join or creating a relationship between different tables. So here again, you don't need to write code. You can just use some easy options, no code options. So third table again, you can see only employee ID and employee name we have, right? So I'll go for table one. And here you can see under combine, we have feature called merge queries. So first part you have merge queries, which means whichever table you have selected here, in that table changes will reflect. When it comes to merge queries as new, it means basically a new table will be created and your original table, like table 1, 2, 3 is going to remain as it is without changes. So always we should go for merge queries as new. So your original data remains as it is. And here you can see first we have table one. These are the columns we have. Second table, let's say table two, and selecting here common field. So how you do the joins when you use the SQL, how you do the joins when you use Excel or programming or some other tools, right? So common fields, like let's say employee ID is common here, just selected, and that's all. Your join kind is automatically it's going to select, depends upon me. And so we have other things also, that's fine, right? We cannot get into so much depth. So just click on OK and see here. Here you have option to expand, and we need just employee name, not employee ID. So I'll just select employee name, and you can see here. So whichever employee ID is matching, uh, you can see 1011, and that is Raju, 1012, Ankita. So likewise, whichever employee ID is matching, those names we are getting here. Same thing, we need to, and see, this is a separate table. Our original table remains as it is, right? So again, here you have option under merge. Now this time we can go for merge queries because in same table we want to do the changes. So go for merge queries, and here table 3 we have to select. Common field we have employee ID. That's all. Okay. And you can see here, again, we are getting table 3 and just expand it. Again, we need just employee name. Okay. Now you see, these are the names matching to this employee. 1001, 1002, right? Now, why we should have two different columns as an employee name, right? So we can merge together. So again, select in order because here you have this first name, but in a real case, you may have first name, last name, right? So that's why you should select in order. Okay. So I have selected this one and this one. Then under transform, because both columns should be one, so I'm going to use transform. But if you want to create a new column based on these two columns. So this is going to remain as it is and new column will be created under add column. But we want to merge both together. So we'll go for transform. And here you have option uh, merge column, right? So just click on this. We don't need separator because only first name is there. We don't have last name, right? So otherwise you can have this separator, even custom separator, you can use it. So here we don't need, so I'll keep it none. This one, you can just, let's say like, mm, so see the column names should not be duplicate. It should be unique. So emp name is not there, employee name is there. So I'm just keeping emp name. Now see, both column has been merged in one column, right? And same time, you can drag it to wherever you want. So now see, I want it before, just beside the employee ID. Now you see employee ID, employee name, department, region, and salary. So this is how you're going to transform the data. This is a really one of the important activity and data transformation, like importance of joins, right? And see if you are using SQL, Python, or any other application, importance of joins in terms of connecting various table, right? So that's why I have shown this part. And fine. So next, we are going to perform one more important activity. So before performing that, I'll tell you. See, today we are going to conclude this Power Query. And further, when it comes to Power BI desktop in terms of DAX function or in terms of Power BI Cloud, so those things we are going to use along with our, you know, other topics, whatever we have, remained in this 15 days session. Okay, so we're going to come back to those things. So when it comes to Power BI, you'll have some, over like introduction of Power BI in just few hours. When it comes to SQL also, just a basic introduction. PySpark or Python also, just a basic introduction. Because these are the, as I said earlier, like each of these courses are separate courses. And if you want to learn thoroughly any of these tools, it's going to take some significant time, right? So our objective is to learn Fabric. And when it comes to these tools, at least you should have some ideas. So that is what we are, performing uh, these sessions, like this. Right. So next activity, again, we have one file. This is basically quarterly report. So here you can see this is a quarterly report. So here you can see, and this is very important. So definitely explore it. Say whether you want to use Power Query or data flow or SQL or PySpark, doesn't matter. Logic remains same. So it should not give less importance to this session when we are using, Power Query. Logically, it's going to be same. So at least if you understand what exactly we are doing, same thing you should try in, like a SQL or try into using Python or PySpark. Okay. So at just a beginning level, like these are the beginning things, but very important. Whatever I'm performing, it's all very important in the real time also. Okay. So that's why just I'm going after something which is really important. As a beginner, I'm not focusing on more advanced or too much like critical scenarios. Simple. So it should have just a head start. Okay. So here objective is that this is the report. You're getting product A, B, C, D, and quarterly numbers you have Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and total. Here also we have total, right? Column total and row total. So second table. So objective is this table we are going to transform such a way that this should get values like sum of sales, average of sales, mean of sales, and we are going to convert into function. And that function we are going to apply on table 13. So this is the automation which is going to help you to automate lot of your repeated tasks. A lot of repeated tasks can be automated by just using one simple example. Definitely, it's not like something magic, but really important. Many, like at least 40-50% task, repeated tasks can be automated this way. We don't need to use even coding, right? So that is the importance of Power Query or data flow without coding or low code. So this is one of the important example just wanted to show you. So I'm going to import both of this table. See, this is the table we are going to perform our function which we create based on table 1. Okay. So table 1, you have just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 column. Here we have increased. So even if you have more columns or more rows, that function is, so it's a dynamic function. So it will work on table 13 also. When you have more rows, more columns, still it's going to work. So let's do it quickly. Okay. So we are going to perform everything on this table and create function. And that function we are going to perform on table 13. So let's do that. So first thing, we are going to remove this total. So right click, remove. Even last row we need to remove. So go for reduce rows, remove rows, and bottom rows. In bottom, we have one row. This should be removed. Okay. Now we need to basically unpivot So unpivot other columns. So now you can see this is how it looks like after unpivoting. Next, we need to use the group by. See, all those things we use in SQL by writing SQL code. But here we are using this GUI buttons, right? So logic remains same. That's why I said like use SQL or Python or PySpark. Just try to do the same, whatever I'm performing here in Power Query. Or even this part is important. As I said, like in legacy project, you may have just assume like couple of project which you are going to maintain in terms of support or whatever, enhancement or whatever you have to perform. So it may be legacy project, which is based on Power Query or data flow. So if you know the Power Query or data flow, it's going to be easy for you to, and that is why interviewer is going to check your data flow and Power Query knowledge. This is 100% required, useful when it comes to Microsoft ecosystem. Right. Same thing can be checked using Python or SQL if you don't use Power BI and if you're using like Tableau or Looker or some other tool. So, similarly, they're going to use like SQL for that purpose or, Python or PySpark for the same purpose. But here in Microsoft ecosystem, you have Power BI desktop, Power BI. So in Power BI, you have this. It's a very important tool for ETL purpose. Okay. So now we need to group by, and here it's a product. Just to give a reference name, reference table. We need all the rows and okay. Now you see, product wise table you have. See, each of the table says like product A and then corresponding values for the quarters. Right. Right. So next, we are going to one second. So next, let's say we want to add some calculation. So under add column, say custom column. And first column, we are going to add sum of sales. Here, this dot sum. And select the reference table. And value we want to access from the reference table. So value, close the bracket. So now you see we are getting sum of all the quarters for product A. It's going to be 3224. You can check. If you add all these values, it's going to be 3224. If you add for product B, like this table, then it's going to be, these values, right? So, fine. So likewise, you can have, let's say, another column says, say, average of sales. And there you can write the formula list dot average. It's very simple. And again, reference table value we have to pass. Okay. So now you have average of sales. Similarly, you can have minimum, maximum, and so many functions are there. Just I'm showing you the minimum of sales or max of sales. And again, reference table, select value, close. So this part, we have done. Now we can change this data type. It's a generic data type. So select all the table. Now this reference table is not required. If you don't want to use this for further calculation, you can just remove it. And so this is the report we have created. Next, we need to select all, change the data type. Okay. And further, go to advanced editor. See, these are the codes generated, whatever we have performed. Now, first three steps are auto-generated, automatically generated. Whenever you load or import any table, first three step is going to perform automatically. You can see source, navigation, and change type. These three steps is going to auto-generated by default. Okay. So just as be patient for few minutes. I'll complete it in next just 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, don't worry. So these three steps, we can just remove it. Because whenever you are going to import data, these three steps is going to perform automatically. So we are removing this part. Fine. So next, we are going to write that function. Yeah. So that function is going to be, let's say, under bracket f quarterly as table and equal to greater than symbol. This indicates that you're creating a function based on existing steps. Now, here one thing you should observe when we have change type. See, this change type is already we have removed. That is the previous step. But next step you can see like here remove columns. So this is a previous step. Remove columns, you can see previous step, right? Similarly, remove bottom rows. You will see this is a previous step, which means so each of the step is basically a reference to previous step. So now we are going to remove previous step change type, which is we have already removed the step, right? So we don't need this change type. We can pass this f quarterly as a this this step change type, right? So f quarterly, that's all. Now, no error. You can see there is all fine. So it's just matter of another 1 or 2 minutes. Please be patient, and then we will conclude. So now see our function is ready. It doesn't take just hardly 10-15 minutes, right? Or let's say all together you perform all the activity, it may take half an hour. So everything we have done, and then our function is ready. And same function we are going to apply on table 13. So how we can do it? Go to F quarterly, select here table 13, just invoke it. Now you see on table 13, same thing, same report you are getting. It doesn't take, hardly few seconds, right? So this is a kind of automation you can perform in Power Query. For that, you don't need to write much code, just little bit logical understanding. And when it comes to this M language, this is a functional language. This is actually functional language, which is very simple. Again, further, like since we are not getting into very detailed discussions of this M language, so uh, you can explore the documentation. It's very simple. Functional language, very simple. And even though if you don't want to get into this part, just understand few basic things, like what exactly we did. That is just a single line of code we have written here, and some changes like removing three steps and passing this parameter f4. That's it. So this is how you can automate tasks in Power Query. This is really important. You should definitely go after this activity. All the tables, all the data will be available on LMS. Do it. Let me know your doubts and questions tomorrow or later whenever you have. Um, Fine. So we are going to conclude now. Sorry for few minutes taking more, but it was important. And just we are concluding this Power Query as of today. Tomorrow we'll look into PySpark Python. This is very important session. I'm telling all of you, please make sure all of you are available throughout the session. We are going to explore entire PySpark, Python, and how actually you can navigate through your VS Code, how you can explore same files which you have in Lakehouse, OneLake, in your own system, and how you actually are going to work on that in terms of writing SQL query or PySpark. All those things we are going to perform today, tomorrow. This is very important in terms of next level. So yesterday there was some issue in terms of connecting PySpark, but today it's all working. I have checked. So just because of a trial version, it was sometimes it may not work, but mostly not find any difficulty. Yes, yes, we have to clean the null values. I'm going to show you in PySpark how you are going to handle null values. Don't worry. Table one is this table. I didn't get you. What's about doing? Yeah, we are going to clean up data. Don't worry, using PySpark, we are going to handle null values, columns, filters. All those activity will perform using PySpark also. We did it using SQL. Similarly, we are going to do it using PySpark also. So it's a bit late now. I'm going to conclude today's session. I think I have responded all your questions also. So Tony, it's all over to you. Sorry for delay a few minutes. Please conclude. Okay.
It's okay, sir. Like, uh, as we come to the end of day 7, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to our esteemed driver, Mr. Kannaya Kumar, for another insightful and engaging Microsoft Fabric session. Thank you, sir, for your valuable time and for sharing your expertise to all of us. A heartfelt thank you for all our learners for your active participation and enthusiasm throughout today's session. Before we conclude, please remember to complete the feedback form if it has been shared. Continue your registered email ID for attendance. Join tomorrow's session using the same Zoom link. We look forward to seeing you all again for day 8. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe and keep learning. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks, Tony. We'll connect tomorrow. Thanks, everyone. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir.